What in the world is this saying? Hey, Chaos, go talk on a tangent for a minute.
Okay, so let's talk about how Evil Azuma connects to Hell's Knight lore. So Hell's Knight is the alternative ego to Wells Knights. And there was a moment during a season where Vintage Beef, I don't actually remember what season, I don't think it's relevant, where Vintage Beef makes a cloning device. And then we can go on a whole nother tangent about Skinned Beef, where when Vintage Beef goes into this cloning device, the other version that walks out is Beef with all his skin removed. I have gone on multiple tangents about it, and it disturbs many people because they forget that that guy exists, and he just ran off into the woods screaming somewhere, because yeah, it would suck to have all your skin removed. Sing to me, Cleo, muse of history, of the copy of the void, and the chaos that he brings, which fuels the fires and burns empires, and the games that he plays that lead to corruption. Tell of the nether and the friends he's made along the way.
Hi, I'm Andy.
And today we are talking about who/what the heck is Evil X?
It's Evil Exuma, that's what it is.
But we should start off by saying that he's grown a lot from his original origins as an April Fool's Day prank, all the way to more or less modern hermitcraft.
He also was influenced by the fandom, I would like to say. He was an April Fool's joke.
He started, and then the fans took him and ran.
They went, yes, I love him. I love him.
Now, before we get started, I would want to say that Azuma has said, the content creator, has said that Evil X probably uses he and they pronouns, so we can switch between those as frequently as we're going to end up doing.
Wait, that's canonical?
That is canonical.
Oh, I just assumed that was a popular headcanon.
I think it's a popular headcanon that the character Azuma also uses he and they, because actually, maybe that's also canonical. I'm going to say that's fan canonical until I can find the source for it, but Evil X was confirmed to use he and they. So, Evil Azuma started off as an April Fool's Day prank. The first episode that he showed up in was, episode 350 of Azuma being on Hermitcraft, yes. So it was very early on. And apparently, Evil Azuma put Azuma under a spell and tried to make him destroy, the Crown Hall. And, Evil X was kind of derpy about it. It very much was, the beginning of when Azuma is being mind-controlled. He's just kind of, silly goofy.
So, hey, context for those who do not watch XisumaVoid. He does not do different episodes per season. It's a continuous count. That's why 350 is considered early. It's not in one season.
Yeah, 350 of season.
For your information.
No, I think this was season 4 at this point.
Was it?
You know what? I don't.
For some reason, I thought 3, but
it might have
4
been
works
3.
too.
It was an early season of Hermitcraft.
Yeah.
And Evil Azuma showed up, put Azuma under a mind control spell. Azuma blew everything up, but he was kind of derpy about it. And then he also helped build a castle. Azuma's oh, I'll do this other thing now. And so they Evil X was what are you doing? You're not supposed to be building a castle. You're supposed to be destroying spawn. And so it's fine, I'll take matters into my own hands. And because wherever Evil X goes, lightning strikes, he decided to place down an Ender Dragon egg, strike it with lightning, and then summon an Ender Dragon to destroy spawn.
Oh. So when you're picturing Evil Exuma, picture it's different, however, a Doofenshmirtz level evil villain.
Yeah.
That's an evil guy, but he's just,
But
silly little guy who's trying to take over, but a very, very, in their words, is just a derp.
Is just a derp. So that is where Evil X started. He immediately started with mind control lightning powers and summoning dragons. And then at some point, Azuma canonically went, hey, Evil X, stop burning down people's houses, and did /ban.
Yeah. And then he came back.
And then he came back
and the cat came back the very next day.
Well, a couple of years later, not exactly the very next day, Evil X came back.
I had to sing the song.
It's true. But the next time we really see Evil X comes from season 8? There's gotta be a time between that. No.
I thought there was something in between, but he did show up in season 8 and he's
Anyway, time passes. Things happen. Evil X shows up in season 8.
He had to have shown up again because Worm Man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wormman. There was a
There was
period of
the
time
Wormman arc.
when ZF was totally not pretending to be the superhero known as Wormman, and Wormman needed
Yep.
a sidekick, and that sidekick ended up being Evil X.
Yeah, and it's great because there's clips of like evil Exuma running in circles. I want evil Wormman. No, sorry, evil Wormman.
Evil Wormman. Evil Wormman.
No, I want Wormman mugs. I want Wormman t-shirts. I want Wormman merch. Let's go! And Exuma's standing there, just
Oh no.
calm down.
So we start off with this very evil character who turns into a superhero sidekick, except he was actually evil all along and kidnaps Wormman, but then he's like has a change of heart and then he unkidnaps Wormman and saves him from his own trap.
Minion Greg.
And yeah.
Is that his name? Jeff, Minion Jeff. There it is.
Is that the one that has the bleeding eye? Because that was a fan thing. That wasn't actually canonical.
See, no, that's canonical. I'm like 80% sure that's canonical.
I think he did show up at one point, but there was this... Okay, let me explain some things.
Open up my search.
Once upon a time, this YouTuber who I have not great opinions about stole a fan theory off of Reddit that was claiming this character with the bleeding eye was controlling Evil X and all this jazz. And like the thing that was the root of this fan theory was a fan-made creation. So anything that came from that fan-made creation is not canonical. And also, the theory was stolen off of Reddit, and I also have very strong opinions about that, and I will save that rant for a slightly more appropriate time.
I know you guys can't see it, however, I'm trying to figure out where I got this information from. In Season 1 of Hermitcraft, one of the members had an episode called Who is Jeff the Minion?
Jeff the Minion is canonical, but his connection to Evil X is different.
Hold on. I'm trying to find information. I'm putting it in research. I'm trying to find information, and this is the website I see. There's two sentences. I'm right. I'm somewhat right that he's at least mentioned. But, like, EX has, like, a quote of, oh, Jeff the Minion, haven't seen that guy in a while.
Oh, because that was... So, in, there was an animation that Azuma showed that was Evil X going down to Hell's Kitchen, and there was background characters, and Jeff the Minion could be seen in the background. But you could also see things like Evil Mumbo Jumbo and Hell's Knight down there. So, you know, he is considered part of the quote-unquote Hell's lore, which we will talk about in a second as it connects to Evil X. But overall, it's a different thing.
So, okay, from everything that I'm looking at, which I'm looking at too much information that I should have looked up before we started this. However, Jeff is, like, mentioned by EX a couple times and seen in the background of a couple things, but the fandom connects them more than it is canonical, though they are somewhat connected very loosely. Episode 500, EX has been, quote, working with a mythical being named Jeff the Minion. What in the world is this saying? Hey, Chaos, go talk on a tangent for a minute.
Okay, so let's talk about how Evil Azuma connects to Hell's Knight lore. So Hell's Knight is the alternative ego to Wells Knight. And there was a moment during a season where Vintage Beef, I don't actually remember what season, I don't think it's relevant, where Vintage Beef makes a cloning device. And then we can go on a whole nother tangent about Skinned Beef, where when Vintage Beef goes into this cloning device, the other version that walks out is Beef with all his skin removed. I have gone on multiple tangents about it, and it disturbs many people because they forget that that guy exists, and he just ran off into the woods screaming somewhere, because yeah, it would suck to have all your skin removed. But then Wells Knight goes into the cloning machine, and Wells Knight ends up meeting Hell's Knight. And Hell's Knight is this evil version of Wells who comes from a place known as Hells. And this very much sets up the tone for this alternative dimension version of the Hermits, known as the Hellsmiths. Evil X is not technically a Hellsmith. As far as the fandom is aware, and the limited canonical information we have of those two interacting, which is next to none, Evil X is something else. So what the hell is Evil X? Most people call Evil X either a clone or a twin, like some sort of brotherly being to Azuma. We don't know where Azuma comes from, so we can't say where Evil X is from. But we, as far as we're aware, Evil X is not a Hellsmith, because even if Evil X is from a cloning machine like Hell's Knight is, it's different. It's not pulling things from other dimensions. It might be a proper evil clone. Was that enough of a tangent?
He's mentioned in a few different episodes, like specifically 666. Things happen.
Jeff the Minion in episode 666, he shows up. Yes, great.
Things happen.
Things happen.
I hate that I don't know things, because I almost always know things, or at least something to add on here. But I'm really upset I can't source stuff.
So Evil Azuma shows up as an April Fool's Day prank, and then he becomes a superhero sidekick. At some point, there was Jeff the Minion, who Evil X is canonically aware of and hanging out with, but is not actively working for, as far as we can tell.
Okay, so EX shows up. He's supposed to be a silly, like, one-off thing. At some point, capitalism happens, and
In season 8, capitalism happens.
Capitalism happens. He gets banned a couple times, but he just, like, exists at other points. He likes to be a sidekick for Wormman. Wormman is great. We love Wormman. Wormman is the best superhero that there ever is. Not related to ZF whatsoever.
No.
Jeff the Minion exists.
As season 8. So season 8 is the first time we really see Evil Azuma for more than just kind of bits. He's considered an active, quote-unquote, members of Hermitcraft, because Evil Azuma and Azuma base together, creating the Evil Empire. However, Evil Azuma places Azuma under mind control.
Yeah, again.
And, like, why do you keep letting the guy who mind controls you back onto the server? I do not know. But Evil Azuma was unbanned or wasn't rebanned going into season 8, so he shows up. And not only is he mind controlling Azuma, but then he also starts to mind control other members of the Evil Empire, as in specifically Jevin, I want to point to, who went from a blue slime to a green slime due to Evil X's mind control.
Wait, that was due to EX?
It was implied to be.
I thought that was unrelated.
It was implied to be due to EX. I'm not certain we actually got confirmation of that.
Jevin, the second he has people tapping on his psyche to try to get in. I want to be green now.
I want to be green, but in his TCG
like
card,
red.
No, in his TCG card, like it, I'm pretty sure it like cites him as like this is the Evil Empire Jevin, and it shows him as green.
You know what? I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Because that lines up with the rest of the information I have, so I'll take that.
But Evil Azuma decides to do the most evil thing possible, and that is capitalism. And he invents cryptocurrency and brings it to the Hermitcraft server and tries to say,
so funny.
It's like the most evil thing he can do. And he's like, you can't buy anything at the Evil Empire shops or any of our ally shops with diamonds. You have to buy this cryptocurrency. And then Evil X starts manipulating the economy of the cryptocurrency to force people to give him more and more diamonds so they could buy more cryptocurrency, which is now quickly being devalued. So things that were worth 1 derp coin, which is the cryptocurrency, are currently now worth 500 derp coin. But you still have to pay the diamonds to get the same amount of derp coins that he was before.
It's just really funny to me that they decided that the most evil thing you can do is
cryptocurrency.
Is crypto.
And at the end of season 8 was a very short season. In other people's POV, specifically Ren and Doc's, it was a simulation season, which we'll talk about in a second. But Evil X flies away on a ghast as the giant moon comes down, and like he's like, ha ha ha, I've won, I've taken all the diamonds from the server. And then the moon just crushes him. Like, he's not defeated by the hermits, he's just crushed by a moon.
I'm also pretty sure we've not seen him since.
Well, we have, because in season 9, when Vintage Beef was doing TCG cards, Azuma went, oh, I want to build a TCG minigame in my base, and so he makes a place where you could play against Evil X, and he's like, yeah, you're canonically playing against Evil X here. Like, Evil X is just hanging out in Azuma's base during season 9 playing TCG.
Evil X broke back into the server for one reason and one reason alone.
To play a card game. And it's like, yeah, you just got finished mind controlling me, but you're still my evil twin / brother. Come live in my base.
It's the constant battle of twin brother clone.
As much as we say, what is Evil X, we don't actually know. Because again, we don't know what Exuma is.
Hey, I'll have you know, he's evil Exuma.
What is Evil X? He is evil Exuma.
Yup. That's his existence. Relationship, and like species does not matter. It's X, but with an E in front of it.
Most people will say, oh, well, he must be a Voidwalker, like Exuma. A Voidwalker is a term the fandom uses to talk about XisumaVoid.
Well, it's also... X has referred to it before, but you know.
Yeah, it started off as a fandom thing. To be a Voidwalker came out of fandom, and so we don't have context for, like, what does that mean?
Did Voidwalker come from a different fandom? Hold on.
Now I gotta look that
up.
I'm
90% sure Voidwalker is from a different series.
I mean, Voidwalker is, from World of Warcraft.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure we started calling him a Voidwalker because of...
Well, okay, so World of Warcraft Voidwalkers are blue. Hold on a minute, that's not right. Oh, they're blue with purple lightning. Okay, maybe that checks out. He looks so angry. I could see Evil X being one of these guys.
Doom Guy and, like...
Yeah,
Voidwalkers.
He is Doom Guy.
So it's not... It's related. It is related. It's not just the fandom.
Oh my god, wait, no, Voidwalkers are also in Destiny too, and that looks so much closer to... What do you mean there's Voidwalkers in Destiny 2 Voidwalkers. Okay, yeah, no, that's Exuma. Well, that's Exuma.
So you say it's a fandom thing, and it kind of is. But it's we took it from Exuma.
I'm sending you this picture. This is 100% just Exuma.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. So what the hell is Evil X? He's a Destiny 2 Voidwalker, but evil. I don't know if Voidwalkers in Destiny 2 are evil. I don't know what Destiny 2 really is. I don't know. But like, it doesn't matter.
We're sorry.
It's a warlock
like
subclass,
Minecraft.
So I get it checks out. He's not a Hellsmith. He's some sort of relation to Exuma, and he apparently is a warlock. I wonder who his patron is.
He's an evil Exuma.
I wonder who his patron is. The world may never know.
Can I please make a joke?
Go ahead.
His patron's Jeff.
I thought you were gonna say his patron is a Watcher, because everyone loved connecting the Watchers being in the void to Voidwalkers.
No!
Nope. We're not doing the crossover of that lore.
I can't do Watchers in every single
Everything
character.
could be a Watcher if you try hard enough.
I know, but I'm trying not to. You know that thing with Eldritch Abominations? Like, you lose your mind if you, like, actually try to process what they are?
Yeah,
as long as I just not try to process it, I just won't try to process it, and so I won't have issues. It's not related. What else?
Well, I don't know what else. I think that might have been the fastest thing we've ever done. What the hell is Evil X? He's himself.
It's EX.
It's EX. They are living their best life, being an evil card-playing crypto genius, sort of. Derp.
Yeah. I would like to argue it's more of a derp than...
Yeah, we can argue derp, but a powerful derp.
Powerful, but only to break into the server. Once we're in the server itself,
once he's in the server, he's like, what, you know. Do you think he has admin controls? Probably not. Probably not.
Unclear.
To the Q&A.
To the Q&A.
Musical ditty. All right, question number 1. Our favorite trope that we see in any piece of media. And this could be really a broad topic or something a bit more honed down.
I really like time loop. Time loop is something I really enjoy.
Time loop is really fun. It's not... Okay, my answer is not so much a trope, but I do love the class of characters that are like... I don't know what it is, but I cannot describe it as human. Like, most people have just started calling that group Eldritch Horrors, and that's not technically accurate, but it's also not accurate.
So Inhumans, they're just not, they're a little bit to the left.
It's things that you can only describe as what they're not. It's kind of like a not deer. I don't know what it is, but it's not a deer.
Versus the never was. It's not a deer, maybe it never was.
Maybe. Unknown entities are a really good subclass, but in terms of like tropes, I'm not certain they count.
Found family, feed me.
Oh my god, Found Family is so
Give me
good.
Found Family.
I love Found Family, but I'm also very aware that it has taken over fan culture, and now everything's a Found Family. Now everything has its own like parent assigned characters. I'm like, as much as I love it, I feel like we put too much into it.
Okay, I will say a critique. I like Found Family when everyone is equal. I don't like Found Family where those two are in charge of the group.
Yeah.
I don't want somebody to be the parent. I want it to be the Found Family of ridiculous people together. Not somebody needs to suddenly make the adults children.
I mean,
and baby them.
The trope of personifying concepts is something I use a lot in my work. And you mostly see this in like personifying death or something. But like personifying chaos is, you know, my whole shtick.
There's a fic that I read where the void isn't empty. Look, there's a sheep right over there. Oh, it's ZF.
Oh, right, we found ZF. Oh, the trope of the right-hand man, like the minion. The trope of Kronk. The trope of Kronk. I think that's my favorite.
I love a Kronk.
Mm-hmm.
The unwanted goose.
Oh, what? Goose?
The unwanted goose.
The unwanted. What a trope is
from
that?
the Untitled Goose Game. Where the goose is just in the background there with a knife in its beak. And you can't reasonably blame it for the downfall of what tragedy just occurred. But whenever there's a tragedy, there's just a goose. Right there.
I
watching it
suddenly need this trope to be in everything. Right now.
Have you played the Untitled Goose Game?
Technically no, but I've seen so many people play it. I functionally have.
Okay.
Alright, question number 2 will involve maybe a tad bit of research. So I'm gonna ask you the question, then you're gonna wander away and I'm gonna answer my own. What is your like not so much favorite, but like a painting that you've seen and you think about a lot? Like a famous piece of artwork. This could either be like the Chronicle. Oh my god, what is it called? The History of Empires miniseries, or it could be like a landscaping thing, or maybe it's be like Starry Night or something.
Okay.
I mean, Chronicles of Empires, like if that is what that little painting series is called, is a really good set of paintings. But I'm gonna be so real. I recently found this painting called The Skeleton Painter by James Ensor, I think is his name. It was in this game I was playing called Please Touch the Artwork, and it's painted in a way that you think a self-portrait would be painted. It's like clearly an artist painting in his studio, but the artist is a skeleton, and it was just like the way it was compositioned and the coloring and just the casual nature of the skulls, everything to me.
There is one that is kind of known nowadays. It's the As I Sit on a Very Packed Train.
Let me look that up. I don't know.
There's one that I don't remember the name of, but it has a number of very young ballerinas warming up that I'm thinking of.
Oh, see, that got really popular recently due to someone talking about how the artist could potentially be Jack the Ripper.
I think I'm thinking of something else, because I'm pretty sure
is it the ballerina painting where the girls have the black ribbons around their neck?
No, I'm thinking of a different one.
Okay, never mind then.
No, yeah, I think that some of them do have black ribbons around them.
I think that is the artist.
So it might be related.
Yeah. Because that guy was alive and like traveling in between Paris and England at the time that all the murders were happening for Jack the Ripper, and like he has the wealth and technically the anatomical anatomy knowledge behind it, and like he also what was it he was like super like hated women, but like everyone's like, you can't say that this guy's Jack the Ripper just because he hated women. But I'm like, also Jack the Ripper 100% hated women. Like, I don't know.
I like Minecraft.
I like Minecraft. Welcome to the podcast episode about Evil X, where we discuss this one painter dude.
Let's not.
And now we can talk about, look at the Voidwalkers from Destiny 2. Do yourself a favor, Google it. There's a T public drawing. It's a chibi Voidwalker, and it looks 100% like Evil X.
It does. It does look like Evil X.
I will drop that in our Tumblr website.
Move on to the next question, Chaos.
Oh, right. We said final question. Hey, do you read comic books? Or graphic novels?
I do read comic books.
What's your favorite? Do you recommend one?
I don't know if I have a favorite. My most recent one that I read was The Sculptor. But I don't know if I have a favorite of those, of graphic novels.
I talked about this before. I'll talk about it again. I'm a huge Shazam fan. OG Captain Marvel. The thing is that, like, every time I try to read a newer publication of Captain Marvel, I'm, like, feeling like they're not getting the character. Something's wrong here, you know?
Yeah.
So, The Secret Origins, what is it called? The Secret Origins of Captain Marvel, I think, was published in, like, 1980 or something. Like, to me, that is the core of who Shazam is. And if you read like 70s or 80s Captain Marvel, it's such a funny, good time, and they're all like available for free online or whatever, so it's like also really easy to get.
Yeah, that's also a series I read unrelated to what you were saying, except for graphic novel. There was like Amulet or something.
I mean, there's the Aurora comics, that is a web series done by the Red from Overly Sarcastic Productions. That's really well done. There's the Adventure Zone. I talked about that though last week. A podcast that was turned into a graphic novel. Really heckin' good.
Yeah, I can't say a favorite. There's too many.
There's too many. I just like all of them.
I like stories.
I like stories. I like pretty things. Yeah.
And artists.
Yeah. Oh, wait. I do know. I would, if you want to get into comics, this might ruin it because you will never find another comic like this, but a lot of Little Gotham is a small comic book where it follows the Bat family throughout the year, but it's all done in this chibi watercolor art style, and it's probably like one of the most beautiful things I've ever read.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So if you're big into watercolor or chibi design, or like you like the idea of the comic book world, but don't like the heft of comic book lore, read a lot of Little Gotham. That's amazing.
Woohoo!
We did it. We reached the end.
You guys succeeded. You made it all the way through.
We did it.
Today's was a little bit...
It was a little bit weird, because as much as I want to talk about Evil X, he doesn't have a ton of content around him.
There's a lot of fan content.
He's
around
so
him.
much
We
fan
could talk about
content.
that.
But you know, we're here to actually give like, who the heck is he in the canon of the story? And we discovered they're just there.
I don't know if we are like the most educational. What is going on?
Yeah.
I think this is how we see.
This is how we see. And we see him as the Voidwalker from Destiny 2. Now, apparently, for the rest of time.
No, he's a derp.
He's a derp.
See him as.
I love them. I really do. I need them in everything now, but such a derp. Thank you for listening to this episode of FanDive. We'll be back again next Monday diving into yet another fandom. Have a topic you would like us to cover? Head over to our website, fandive.tumblr.com. There you can also find any episode relevant images and general shenanigans that we get up to. It is Tumblr after all. We're not ashamed of being fans of things.